approximately 1 in every 59 children are born with autism. Albert Einstein.
Dr. Einstein had no speech until age 3. Steve Jobs, he was a loner. He brought snakes to school.
Leonardo da Vinci. This man was far advanced on the autism spectrum.
I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
You're listening to Takiwātanga, Love Not Cure, Exploring Autism Once.
Tell us about your journey going to New Zealand. What made you decide that you want to migrate from Calapan?
After I graduated, because I'm a social worker, I graduated with BS Social Work from the University of the Philippines in Diliman. I worked in foundation. It's called World Vision. In Quezon City, and then I went to NIA, which is National Irrigation Administration, in their training space capacity, and then I finally went to DSWD, being a social worker and stuff. So I worked there for about a year and a bit before I came here in 2006. Yeah, it was just me. It was like, I just want an international social work experience, and I didn't know anyone here. Luckily, one of my friends from DSWD knew someone who lives in Auckland, and then I just went flatting with them. Yeah.
And as a tourist or a work visa?
Work to resident.
Work to resident.
Yeah.
And then with your husband?
No. We were together in the Philippines as boyfriend, girlfriend. And then I went here. After a year, he was gonna do his master's degree in Germany. So he came here for like 50 days. And then he went to Germany to do his master's. That was in 2007. But then we got married here. And on our first year anniversary, I traveled to Germany. And yeah, that's our first year wedding anniversary. We traveled a bit. And when I came back to New Zealand, I was pregnant with our firstborn. Yeah, so I was here for that long. I think it was actually him who pushed for it, because he was the one who said that something is not right. But then it was me who's like I'm mostly the optimistic
person
type, and I was thinking, he's gonna change. It's just a phase, it's gonna go. He's gonna come right.
Yeah, I remember when I was speaking to Jessil. Jessil Cajes. She's the host of Culture Connection.
Okay.
I've spoken to her about it, and I was telling her somewhat the same story you had. Like, my wife is like so calm, and I was so worried, like, how can I support, or how am I going to support my child? And given that I don't know anything about autism, and it's a struggle, and we're not even going through the path or we're not even asking for the support from the government yet. We're still just on the acceptance phase, right? So it's still a long way. Same kind of thing, like, okay, my wife is so calm and I am not. What's the secret behind that?
I was just maybe hoping, that he's just it's normal, like he's our first boy, like he's our only boy. Well, only boy. We had 2 girls.
Right.
And so I don't really know how to explain it, but it's my husband who's really pushing for it, and he's very worried about his future, about our future. What are we gonna do? There's a lot of unknowns and a lot of worries. What are we gonna do? What should we expect? What are the supports that we should be getting to help him? Yeah.
You mentioned
there's-
about support. So how did you navigate support in terms of like I don't want to compare one family to another, but when it comes to seeking for support, I'm actually more keen on why don't we have any standard support? I mean, my journey is different from your journey. You have the Wellington,
Early intervention
early
trust.
intervention. My other friend is going through CAMS. I'm with the DHB, and
Yeah.
there's no straight
Yeah.
path. So how do you feel about that?
I just feel lucky that we found out about the Wellington Early Intervention Trust, and they work with children below 5 years old. I remember it was during the pandemic when we were on the lockdown period. I think me and my husband being at home and his sisters being at home, and I've also got my mom and dad. So there's 7 of us at home. That he started to it really helped for him to start talking, and it was such a huge thing for all of us. We celebrated for
It's party,
yeah, and he started saying the colors, all his numbers, all the you show him a photo and he knows what it is. So during that time he just started to say a lot of things all in like a short period of time. So it's like we waited for this long, and then when it started, he really started. And we're just really amazed with his progress. He's singing the video game machine, he's singing all these songs, and he would know all the lyrics. He would type. So that's how we usually communicate. Is we let him type, or we will ask him to write. Although his preference is typing on a device.
Does he write? I mean, like, can he write?
He can, but it's like a dagger.
Same with my son.
And he knows all his alphabet. That's actually his, I think, superpowers. The alphabet and the numbers. He's quite hyperlexic. So hyperlaxia. That's
what does that mean?
It's like an overwhelming obsession with numbers and letters and words, and we are using that to help him more.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get into. Like, for my child, it's somewhat the same. How do you use that? I'm curious now, how do you use that letters and words so that you can communicate with him?
Yeah. So he's been provided with a talker, but we also have an iPad at home, books.
Do you read? Do you read the books with him, like on a regular basis?
I try, but he really prefers the iPad and watching, videos on YouTube over and over again.
Every tangata fight Takiwātanga is different. If you fail with one strategy, don't stop. Keep moving forward. Always remember that for every failure you encounter is one step closer to your success. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, Memuto te whakawa haere. Let's stop judging others. Memahi tahi tato. Let's all work together. Kia maya, kia kaha, be brave and be strong.
Hello, kita mo lagi. Kalimutan ko yung
Yeah.
first, even Taglish or English. So please introduce yourself.
Okay. Activities does he like?
Right. And how is he with the going back to the school? Napapatagalog ako. Going back to the school. Going back to the school. How is it? Any other, before tayo magpunta dun sa business mo? Baka baka palabasin ako dito. Okay, tapos ka na.